Michael, there have been a lot of Australian record companies over the years. What's different about Mushroom?
Well, Mushroom's a thing that has come up from the experience I've had in the music industry over 4 years and the problems that bands have had in the past with recording companies. And we've set up a label which is involved with more than just the recording, but recording, the publishing, the actual management and the agency all working very strongly together, as happens, overseas. And it'll end up with a better product. The band's presented a lot better around the country, and things like cheaper admission prices to concerts, everything. And that's the thing that Mushroom's going to have over all the labels, I think.
Who's behind it besides yourself?
We've got the chap that is also in the Australian Entertainment Exchange with me, Ray Evans. He's the other partner in Festival, do all the distribution. Then we've got a pretty large staff of people catering to each section, from Channel 9 with recording. Then you've got Ian McCausland, who is doing all the creative work, all the designs, all the posters. And I think, well, that's such a happy addition to the crew. It's fantastic.
How did you find? Do you find it very difficult to raise money for a venture like this?
Well, fortunately, we've had a lot of help from people like the studios and Festival and that, and with our resources throughout the entertainment industry of all the facets, it's all combining well, and the money is there between me and Ray, and the label's gone off to happy start with Sunbury.
What sort of bands do you expect to be promoting?
Well, about 90% of all the material on Mushroom is going to be original, and the acts we've got at the moment, they're all on their own thing completely, from Mackenzie Theory to Matt Taylor, to Matt Lake, to Friends, to Sid Rumpo, to any of them. They've all got their individual thing, and I think that the label is not going to get too big, but it's going to be a happy little family there,
So one of the problems with Australian music making a big impact overseas is that it can't get distribution over there. How are you going to go about doing something about this?
Yeah, well, what I've done with Mushroom, which is pretty fortunate, it's tied only with Festival for Australia and New Zealand, and overseas it's completely free. And through the contacts I've got with the Stigwood organisation, we're representing them out here for all their tours that come out, and they're very interested in the product. There's Chris Blakewell at Ireland, who I'm going over to meet when I'm in England, and we'll just take the pick of the best label. I'm hoping to find a label with the same ideas as Chrysalis or Honor, with management, recording, publishing, agency, everything working together, and the whole band is fully aware of the whole process, which has never happened in Australia, never.
Michael, the big problem with getting Australian records sold overseas is that there's nobody over there prepared to push them. How are you going to get around this?
Well, I'll be going over myself in the next few months with as much material on tape as possible, and I intend to line up a deal for each of the acts that they go over there, spend a month rehearsing solid in the studio, and then put down, with unlimited time, the best album they could possibly put out, and then line up the whole Mushroom label with a label with similar interests, possibly Chrysalis or Ireland, and for them to get behind the whole Australian music policy, more than just any individual artist. Take Mushroom as a label as a whole, because, Australian swimmers, tennis players, everyone else is world class, and musicians are. It's just a matter of getting them in the right circumstances and conditions over there, and I'm sure we can do it through the Stigwood tie-up and just through using a bit of knowledge in general of the industry.